Hi, everybody. Welcome to That's Life. We come to you this morning from the Tachana Rishona in Yerushalayim. It is a glorious, glorious morning. I know by the time I finish recording this and you hear it, it will actually be almost the evening here in Israel. But I hope you enjoy our little walk around this morning here at the Tachana Rishona. It started out a little bit hazy here. I don't even call it hazy because that's like sun-related, but a little overcast. But as usual on this trip, God is shining down on us, and we are having a wonderful time. Hi, everybody. It's Miriam Wallach coming here from Yerushalayim. General manager, blogger, writer here at the Nachum Segal Network. I'm joined by ZK, who's behind the camera. I'm joined by Meir Kruder from Kruder Photography. I want to thank them both. Both for, putting up with my narishkeit and, for being excellent team members on this trip. It has been a whirlwind, but it has been a great whirlwind. There are a number of other thank yous I want to make sure to take care of at the top of the show. My thanks to Mr. Banda from Pomegranate. We've been thanking him profusely on this trip, on this Jewish Unity Initiative trip, and I can't say it too many times. It is honestly because of him, because of supporters like him, and because of other people who believe in what we're doing, promoting unity and promoting tourism and reminding people that this is our homeland. And it's time for us to keep showing that. Guess that was a little bit too political. But anyway, there's a tremendous amount of Hakara Sato for everyone at Pomegranate, for Mr. Banda. My thanks again to him. My thanks to the Inbal, not only for today's late checkout, but for being our home away from home here in Israel. My thanks to Traveler's Choice, to Devora and Yossi. Both personally and professionally, they have come through for us a number of times, helped me and my husband out a bunch of times. And at Travel Cell, my thanks to Josh Melman and to everyone there for hooking us up. Meir Kruder is snapping away. If I get distracted, it's because I keep hearing the clicking. We are standing here in front of Fresh. It is an unbelievable restaurant here in the Tachana Rishona. It is also Mahadran, for those people who are Makban and Mahadran. I have to tell you, I've gained plenty of calories here. It is really good eats. And most importantly, I'm joined by Joanna Shepson from Fun in Jerusalem, who I will now invite on. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
I am well. Joanna, by the way, is a returning guest on That's Life, and I thank her for waking up, throwing her kids out, getting everything ready, and for taking care of us here at the Tachana Rishona to make sure that we have an excellent program. I also, by the way, I should finally tell people, Joanna and I have known each other since we're 9. Not only was she my roommate here on our year abroad, our gap year in Israel, but my daughter was her flower girl.
Yes.
So we have known each other for a very long time, and I spent plenty of time in her parents' house. My shout out to the Steinlaufs. You think they're watching?
It could be.
Yeah, hi. It's a pleasure. By the way, today's date, you should just know, because it's national holidays, it is the 11th, right? We said it was the 11th? I know, neither one of us really know. Is it the 11th? Everything is a blur. Yes, it is the 11th. So it's Don't Cry Over Spilled Milk Day. It is Be Electrified Day. It is Get Out Your Guitar Day.
I wish I had a guitar.
Yeah. At moments like this, I do too. It's National Shut-In Visitation Day. It's Satisfied Staying Single Day.
We'll discuss the dating in Jerusalem post that I just put up.
Yeah, people should also know that Joanna is a shadchan or a shadchanis. We say that? Shadchanit?
Yeah, shadchanit.
Okay, sorry. Shadchanis is a bit is bad. It's like when I said Harabayas. And Nachum's like, no, it's not Harabayas. You will call it Harabayit and you will be fine. It's also White Shirt Day. What up, White Shirt Day? And it's World Day of the Sick, which is a little bit of a downer, but that's okay. By the way,
although we're in a very spiritual place.
We are in a very spiritual place. Yeah. It's also International Friendship Week.
Oh,
nice. 1 second, there was another one that I thought was really funny. What did I tell you before? It's Love Makes the World Go Round, but Laughter Keeps Us from Getting Dizzy Week. So plenty of things to celebrate.
Friendship with Miriam.
Exactly.
It's all about the laughter.
And that I make you dizzy.
Yes. At the same time.
Sometimes. Anyway, so we're here at the Tachana Rishona, and I want to introduce Shmuel. If Shmuel will come on, Shmuel's like, not so much. What is it? What?
Shmuel
You did. You just don't know. He just wants to wave. Boker Tov.
Boker Tov, Boker Tov.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Shmuel's in charge of marketing here.
You are in charge, and you weren't going to come on camera, and you're in charge of marketing?
Yeah,
You want a raise, or you want a what?
Just started, so I don't want to say.
Exactly. It's excellent, but I have spent plenty of personal time here at the Tachana Rishona. It is absolutely beautiful. Can you tell me what you guys are building at the other end, where the sand was? Ivrit Zebeseder, we'll do a little bit.
We're moving our tent. We have a big tent that is called the Jimbo Sport.
Okay.
It's a sports station for children, extreme sport. They have
Like a skate park?
No, like
no
climbing
skate
wall.
park.
Oh, okay, cool.
Mega and stuff like this. So we're moving it, we're making it bigger and nicer, and we have much more activities over there. And that's it.
How often do things change here at the Tachana Rishona? I mean, it's a very. How old is it? Also, it's not that old.
3 years now.
Ah, right. So it's 3 years
we
old.
opened it 3 years ago.
It was the idea of Mayor Barkat.
Nir Barkat, and yeah, it's Nir Barkat, and the owner is Avi Mordok.
And the idea was to take an area that was otherwise not being used and turn it into this center of both culture and excitement and nightlife, etc.
Restaurants and culture. This is the main things that happening over here. We have 9 restaurants from non-kosher to
Mahadran,
kosher,
right? Uber kosher.
And we have a lot of activities over here for children, for adults. Almost every night we have shows over here. Most of the thing, 99%, is for free. Come enjoy over here.
Yeah, it really is quite beautiful. And actually, I was here during Tzuk Eitan, and Joanna showed me the sand. We had the little beach over there. That was a lot of fun.
I've been in the military. I've been in the Miluim.
Yeah, okay, Miluim, right, reserves.
Reserve. So I've been in the reserve, so...
You didn't get to enjoy. You were enjoying other sand. Exactly, we'll say that. There we go, thank you. Yeah, exactly. So, number one, thank you for hosting us this morning.
You're welcome.
And thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you for keeping us safe. And if you were active during Tzuk Eitan, and you were in the army during Tzuk Eitan, then I'm happy that you are here.
Thank you.
And I'm happy you are safe.
Thank you. Welcome to Israel.
Thank you very
Enjoy.
much. Thank you. Well, that was fun.
Yeah, fabulous.
Yeah, you have nice friends.
Thank you.
All right, so we're going to walk around. I want you to tell me what your highlights are. When you bring your kids here, and your kids have a crazy unique opportunity because their mom does one of the coolest things ever. As we've explained before, Joanna runs funinjerusalem.com. That, of course, because I shep nachas, because it was just an idea that she had. It was a mommy blog, and it turned into this business and this entity. How old is it now?
So it's now about 6 years old, but the new kind of tourism website is about 2 years.
It's unbelievable.
And it launched the day I was in Miriam's studio in New York.
That's
the new
right.
version of the site.
That's right. My God.
It's exciting.
Yeah, Joanna's whole Aliyah story is exciting, and whatever else, and that is going to have to be for another show because we have the
We're in a
opportunity.
beautiful place.
Yeah, we have the opportunity to walk around, and ZK never lets me go anywhere, so we might as well. I'm usually tethered to the studio, but this is gorgeous, and you got the sun to come out, so why not?
Well, let me tell you, on a usual evening, this place is packed. So you've
Right.
got people sitting out at the restaurants over here. This whole row here are restaurants. Adom is a very well-known non-kosher restaurant, and Landver also, that are open on Saturdays. So if there are tourists around who are not Jewish, this is a
Don't
place
tell
to
Stephen
come.
I dropped my phone. Okay, yeah.
I've got to come back here with Miriam to Station 9 one
I've
night.
still not been there.
The drinks at Station 9 are incredible.
And low calorie.
I'm not sure about the locale.
Right,
but they're
okay.
incredible.
By the way, these are new, right? These benches that they're fashioned out of wood?
Yes, it's very cool.
I was just here a couple months ago, and I don't remember them being here.
There was an exhibit here a couple of months ago, and I think it was part of the exhibit, and then it's
Oh, really? That's cool. Like the lions.
yes.
Like the lions that are all over Jerusalem. By the way, we should also note that there's a ZK is it the mic off? Okay. That would have been bad. By the way, we should also just note that there's a running path.
Oh.
That is that I personally, it's a great view to run. Unfortunately, like most of Jerusalem, once you go downhill, you still have to go back uphill. But it's absolutely glorious, and people use it all the time. And it's got places for kids to hang out, and it also has, I don't even know how to put it, but it's like municipal workout stations along the way. The mayor of Jerusalem is known for, I don't want to say being a health nut, but he's an active member of society. He's an athlete. He runs in all the marathons. He runs in all the marathons. His idea was also to bring the marathon here, right?
Yes.
Right. So we thank Mayor Barkat both for his interview this morning on JM and the AM, and also for just being an inspiration behind what is so much of Jerusalem's physical activity, just getting active. So the running path is a lot of fun.
Now the running path, what you should know, it starts here, and it continues all the way down. You can go as far down as Ein Yael and the zoo.
Oh, really?
And down there, they've got a really cool new activity park, which they call like an extreme sports park for kids.
I didn't realize it went that far down because I've gotten far enough down to realize that I should probably turn around. Right. So,
I don't know if I would tell you to go at night down the path all the way by yourself, but it does go through a bunch of different
Right.
villages and ends up at the zoo and Ein Yael.
and there are juice bars on the way.
And there are juice bars on the way. There are sports parks on the way. There's
Right.
a lot of stuff.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay, so we have the restaurants going on over here. We have Rebar over there, which is a huge, I don't want to say hangout, but it's an attraction for sure.
Definitely. In the summer for their yogurt drinks, and in the winter for their oatmeal.
And by the way, and also Gaia. Gaia is a store that I don't want to say people don't know about, but people who know about it are obsessed with it.
Gaia is a great place to buy a souvenir or buy some kind of, a toy, especially for that kid who, like my son Aryeh, who's 11 years old, master of Rubik's Cubes. And I go in there and I'm like, give me something harder.
Right.
I want to give him something challenging. So my favorite is, if you could see on the top shelf there,
Yeah.
they've got wine bottles that are locked in with this wooden mechanism, and you have to figure out how to open the bottle.
Right.
So-
I have tried and then realized I don't want it to be that hard to get to the wine bottle. So I have passed that up. But there are a couple of really fun games that we've brought home. And also there's I don't want to say this like as an insulting, they're smart gifts.
Yeah.
They're smart gifts. Like if
And
you
very good quality.
very good quality. It's really made out of wood. It's constructed well. But when you have, and by the way, I've bought them for adults.
Yeah,
I
for
bought
sure.
we keep in the studio because I brought them back. There are these eyes that are like, you're supposed to attach them to your hands. They're two eyes, and it makes your hands into like an animal, and you claw all over the place. So of course I bought one for Nachum, who has pretty big hands, and I love when we could be in the middle of a very serious meeting or on a conference call, and all of a sudden I take out the eyes and I put them in my hand. I'm like,
Puts everything into perspective.
exactly. You just got to lighten up every once in a while.
But I want to just tell you also, along this theme of these smart puzzle games, is that another really big attraction nowadays are escape rooms. And Jerusalem's
Here
got
also?
3. Yeah.
Oh.
So we've got Puzzle Quest, which is based in Talpiot. And there you're escaping the Nazir, who's actually in the room with you, and you're trying to unlock the cabinet with the wine that he's locked away.
That's funny.
And
Okay.
he's kind of chasing you around the room slowly, so you've got to avoid him and solve the puzzles all at the same time.
Oh, that's cool. The escape rooms are very hot in New York. It's a very it's a real thing that people do. They do it on date nights, and couples do it together, families do it for activities. Is it that hot here, or
Yeah.
is it just becoming hot?
It's just becoming. I would say in the last year, it's become really popular. And also because people are always looking for night activities in Jerusalem, which there are a lot of night activities, but people
Which
initially
one of the things that the Tachana provides
Yes,
is night
yes.
activity.
So this is really a cultural hub, and there are a lot of different local activities that happen here. So as a local who lives here, I'll come with my kids to different events that are going on. And on a Friday afternoon, they do a Kabbalat Shabbat, which is meant to be something for religious and non-religious, just to like experience singing together, bringing in Shabbos. It happens obviously before Shabbos starts, so it's fine for religious people.
You've
and
done it
it's-
also?
Yeah, I've come. It's really fantastic.
Wow.
I would recommend that everyone come on their trips. Yeah.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very, very cool.
I've been here for conferences. I've been here for special events. A friend of mine opened up a secondhand clothing store.
Oh, really?
And to launch it, they did a fashion
Very
show
trendy.
here. It's called Haboidam. And they...
What does that mean?
The boidam is like the storage room up in the top of an attic.
Okay.
So they like as if that's where you're hiding your old clothes.
Got it.
So people donate their clothes, and the people who work at the boidam are mentally challenged and have certain emotional issues. And he teaches them how to work in the store,
Nice.
and plus he sells the secondhand stuff. So he did a fashion show here to launch.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's very
Just
cool.
shout out to Guy Avihod.
I imagine also the municipality is probably accommodating and trying to integrate as many Israelis into what's going on here as well, because it shouldn't just be something that is dependent on tourists.
100%. This place, in fact, was really built to be a tourism center for locals. Locals and even, Israelis coming in from Tel Aviv to come here. That's why there is an option of having non-kosher restaurants here for the people who are coming in, from the Tel Aviv area for the weekend to see Jerusalem.
Right.
So-
Was that met with a little bit of pushback?
Definitely.
Yes.
But they've stayed open. It's a private mitcham compound here, so they were able to stay open.
Nice word. That was fancy. You're listening to That's Life. We are here at the Tachana Rishona in Jerusalem. If you know where the Inbal is and you know behind the Inbal and behind Gan Hapa'amon, there is what used to be the old train station. And now it has turned into this unbelievable cultural center, which is really, the apple of everyone's eye here in Jerusalem. I know that when they built the Gesher at the Knisa La'ir, when they built that whole structure, I shouldn't just say Gesher, they built the bridge. How could I forget my English? That was great. And they created this entire what do you call that arch? The big monument when you come into the.
It's the Bridge of Strings.
The Bridge of that's what it's called.
It's called the Bridge of Strings.
Okay, so when they built the Bridge of Strings, there was a lot of pushback with that as well. People thought it was an eyesore, etc. I happen to love it, but I don't live here. But here at the Tachana Rishona, this is something where everyone gets to come together. And
well, let me tell you right now. If we stand here, let me put this down. We are across the street from the new Israel Hotel. We are down the street from the Inbal Hotel and Gan Hapa'amon and the Jerusalem Skate Park. I'll slow down for the camera. And then just further down this path is the King David Yamin Moshe, where there are great scavenger hunts and Yamin Moshe dashes that you can play.
That's cool.
And if you turn to this side, right behind us on this side is the Har Etzion Hotel, the Har Etzion Hotel, and the Cinematheque, and Zappa. You don't know about Zappa. I've got to take you to Zappa.
No.
Zappa is
You're holding out on me?
Yes. You have to come long enough. Zappa is a bar, restaurant.
CK wants us to keep
kosher.
Walking. Okay.
And they have the most famous Israeli singers come and perform there. And it's a small little intimate setting. You sit down, you eat dinner, and then you're sitting right in front of the concert. It's fantastic.
That's cool.
So I've heard Ehud Banai there. I've heard Idan Reichel there.
That's all you had to say.
I
You
know.
just said that for me,
We'll
didn't
do
you?
Idan Reichel. Yeah, we have to go do
said that
a
for
concert.
Me.
Yeah.
We should take this opportunity to actually talk about tourism, not just Israelis being able to be in a situation where things are quiet enough for everyone to come out and enjoy places like the Tachana Rishona, but also to remind people, which is one of the purposes of our trip this week and of the Jewish Unity Initiative, is that Israel is ours. Israel belongs to all of us, and we have to make sure to support it. We have to make sure to come as often as possible, to frequent the restaurants, to enjoy the escape room and all the other things that are going on. And as Nachum suggested the other day when we were able to broadcast from Eish HaTorah, is that if you can't go yourself, then people should get together to send someone else. We have to make sure to keep this going. I mentioned to somebody the other day, or it might have even been this morning, everything is such a blur, that there were 2 missions on our flight here. Neither one of them were Jewish missions, but the flight was packed and there were people coming. And now at the Inbal, there are a number of missions there also. There is one actually from Park East Synagogue in Manhattan, but also there are a number, again, of non-Jewish missions that are here and that they are coming and that they're supporting. So we have to make sure as well, get up and come. You have Pesach is around the corner. Sukkot is a couple of months down the line, and I look forward to seeing you again there. And then, of course,
summer.
let's talk
Plan
about
your
the summer.
I mean, we've got the most incredible summer camps here. If you want to come and do sort of like a mixture of a trip with your family, plus put your kids into summer camp for a couple weeks, it's an experience they will remember for their lifetime. They went to camp in Jerusalem. They went to camp in Israel. It's something I definitely recommend.
That's very cool. That's very cool. You know, and people also, Americans versus Israelis, Americans plan so far in advance.
Very far in advance.
Right.
I have to say, there are times where I get emails where someone is planning a bar mitzvah for 2018. And I actually had to send her to an Israeli vendor who said to me, I can't answer this email. And I said, no, you can answer the email. Tell her what's available and tell her the pricing may change by 2018.
It's crazy. But again, that's just, it's a major cultural difference, but it's just the reality. We should just note, by the way, that we walked through, I don't know if we call it a tent or an amphitheater, an enclosed area that they put up for the winter so that the cultural activities can continue here. Whereas during the summer, obviously we don't need it, and it's open and it's gorgeous. I've been here at night when there have been concerts and like jazz fests and whatever. And by the way, we passed the Tai Chi class when we were walking in here, which is always fun to watch. I don't understand people who do like Tai Chi and yoga. It's like, do it faster. But that's why things like that aren't meant for people like me. But
you need to notice also all of these carts, because this is the center of the craft fairs in Jerusalem. And so every day especially in the summer, every day there's a different theme to who's here and what are they selling. You can find, for example, souvenirs like the Shabbat collection is sold here, where it's like everything you would need for a Shabbos away in a bag.
Cool.
You can find clothing for kids. You can find all types of gift items.
That's great. And I want to be able to turn around for a
This
second.
is my favorite part.
And
of course.
show everybody what's going on behind us. By
First,
the way,
let me tell you, this restaurant, Hamiznon, is fantastic.
And-
Delicious halavi, milchik.
but it's also very classic Israel to be able to maintain the old structure and invite it into the new world. I mean, it's 2016 and you have all this modernity going on, but nevertheless, this is an original building and there are photographs on the wall that show what this building was in its heyday and what it was originally used for, because again, this was the first train station. We can't go over there. That's fine.
They're building over there. We can look into it. But we can't
That's
go in
fine.
there.
I don't wanna
No,
go
but
in.
Let me tell you, this restaurant here, their menu is based on the Orient Express. So this was one of the stops on the Orient Express. Shmuel will correct
Shmuel-
me. It is one of the stops
Yes.
on the Orient Express. And
Shmuel's in
the
marketing. He knows, yeah.
So the menu is like you can get food from. I think one of the breakfast items is Catalonia, and one of them
That's
is
cool.
yeah. There are a bunch of different options. So it's a fun place to go. Also,
And also, if you look over here, you have the original tracks.
Yes.
You have the original train tracks down here.
they also have a kiddie train that drives around here, which is
That's
amazing.
fun.
Yeah.
That's fun.
So
So
that brings the kids back into what this place was used for originally.
right, and it's also part of what makes Israel Israel is that you never want to forget where you came from. You drive down the highway, you go down Kfish Echad, and you see old tanks, and you see old military, personnel carriers or whatever it is, reminding everyone that it took hard work. It took blood, sweat, and tears to bring us this country, to bring us back, to establish the state of Israel, to make the Jewish homeland a reality. And you can never lose track of that. You can never not appreciate that. People who live in Israel their whole lives, make Aliyah, make it so that people like me can come. We can visit and we
It's
can
people
support.
like Shmuel.
It's people like Shmuel who serve in the army and give their lives.
Right.
They give how many years of their lives in order to serve?
But this actually leads me into something interesting. This week, I had the pleasure of being at 3 different events. 2 were birthday parties, and 1 was a memory of someone. And in order to celebrate these special birthdays, they were 70th birthdays, and then the other one was a year after someone had passed away, the families decided to donate something back to Jerusalem. So that was it was so beautiful, and it was all in 1 week. So first, I went to the Jerusalem Bird Observatory, where in memory of their father, a family donated an interactive self-guided tour. So you can walk around the bird observatory with your smartphone.
That's cool.
And you scan the barcodes, and then it tells you, it gives you a video, it tells you about the birds in that area, and it was so beautiful to see all the different generations of that family there to celebrate the launch. And then after that, I went to the zoo, and at the zoo there was this 70th birthday celebration for a man who's a photographer, and he specializes in photography of nature and animals.
Wow.
He wasn't specifically connected to the zoo. The family decided to put together a photo exhibit of all of his photos in the Tevat Noach, in the Noah's Ark at the end.
nice.
And then they had a special tour for all of the kids and
Wow.
grandkids around the zoo to celebrate. And the last one, which was really just so beautiful, I even brought it with me, is the Western Wall Heritage Foundation, which you know as the Kotel Tunnel Tours.
Right.
They just published this new book, which is my little prayer and storybook from the Western Wall. And the idea
That's
is
beautiful.
people come to the Kotel, and they've already published a whole bunch of different sidurim for people who don't know and want to learn, and but they never publish anything for kids.
Wow.
This is specially for kids and includes history of the area, of the Kotel area of Jerusalem. And then at the end, it gives kids a couple of different tefillot that they can say that are not related to time. So no matter what time of day they're at the Kotel, they can say it. And
Are you going to make sure that I don't steal this from you?
Yes.
Yes, I know. You're looking
I'll
at
get
me
you a
like
copy.
you're looking at me like, don't be trying to swipe my book away from me. We literally have a couple of minutes left, and I want to again thank you for setting this up. Funinjerusalem.com, where it's how often is it updated? Every 5 seconds.
every 5 seconds. My office is my telephone, my cell phone. so-
Right. Well, I joke that I can run the entire network off of my phone, which sent me into complete panic yesterday when the phone wouldn't respond. And ZK is like, yeah, you got to do a hard reset. I think you're going to lose everything. I'm like, no, that's not funny. That is not funny.
Back it up. Always back it up.
Yeah, well, okay, we can talk about that
Yeah.
another time. By the way, the carousel is back there. It is an absolutely beautiful structure. Again,
Well, I'll tell you, there's an antique carousel, there's bungee trampolining, there's a
Right.
rock wall to climb, there's they're building an indoor jamboree, which if you talk about like the matzav is what we call it here, right?
Right.
What's the matzav like? What are people feeling? First Station, for example, has opened up the jamboree sport every Monday and Thursday for free for local kids. And the Jerusalem Foundation sponsored a whole bunch of different museums in the months of December and the beginning of January for free. And the idea was they wanted to encourage families to still go out to places that were, secure places and not to stay at home. And
Right.
so that's the feeling here is you should still go out. You've got to be smart about where you go, checking, I check Mukata all the time to make sure nothing's happened where I'm going.
Why
other
does
than
he
that-
know everything?
He knows everything within a second.
It's by the way, I mean people should understand that Mukata is not only a Facebook feed and a Twitter feed, but it's also a website, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right.
And he does it all for free. He takes donations, but he doesn't charge. for
Right,
the
and when nobody
information,
knows who he
so-
is, right?
Right.
Right. It's
I think I met him many years
MUQ.
ago. MUQATA.
Right. For people who don't know what we're talking about, just spend 5 seconds looking at what he's got going on. I mean, I don't know where he is, but he's clearly here also. He is absolutely all over the place.
I believe
Oh,
he lives in the Shomron, actually. Yes.
Is that a wedding gown or just a funky skirt? I think it's a funky skirt. Oh, it's a bar mitzvah. Okay, all right. No, that's cool. See, people,
Oh, people celebrate here all the time. Like
Right.
this is a great venue for bar mitzvahs, and especially in the summer.
the sun is shining. It is a beautiful morning here in Jerusalem. I'm so happy that I got to spend it with you. And
And to be on video for the
I know.
first time.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry about the heads up.
She didn't tell me.
I didn't tell her at all. This is part of the, excitement, the dizziness that is involved with, me. That's the reality. In 2 seconds or less, if you were trying to convince somebody who was on the fence about coming to Israel or continuing their trip or doing something, this one errant hair, tell me what you would look at them and say.
If you have any reservations about coming, send me an email. Tell me where you'd want to go, what you'd want to do, and I can tell you, what I think you should do. Everybody could plan a trip in advance to come, whether it's Pesach, summer, Sukkot, or just Stam in the middle of the week.
We I can't believe I'm even thinking about this now, but we were talking about people coming back out and being involved and not staying in their homes. But I remember at the end of Tzuk Eitan, I was here when the craft fair was taking place in Yerushalayim, which is called, remind me.
Bezalel Street?
No, in the
Chutzot HaYotzer.
right, Chutzot HaYotzer was taking place, and the war was, the ceasefire had been called, and the war was just about over, and all of a sudden it was packed. Like I'm at Chutzot HaYotzer and I see everybody out and smiling and their kids playing, and it's like 10 o'clock at night and who cares? Like nobody had been outside. So it was fantastic. And walking through Mamila just the other day, it was empty. And I'm saying to myself, no, like we got to keep, and it's easy for me to say, I'm getting on a plane again tonight. I'm getting on a plane, I'm going to the Gush this afternoon, and I'll be back in New York tomorrow and whatever. But it's a question of remaining steadfast in our beliefs and supporting Israel and encouraging everyone to, yes, keep your wits about you and stay safe, but also live.
Right, exactly. I mean, there was one day last week where I went out, took my boys to a Hapoel Jerusalem game.
Saw that.
It was amazing. And it actually had happened. I took them out that same day. Someone had been stabbed and killed. And I sat around there and I looked around and I saw all these different families going out that I knew from the community, and it was packed. Wow. And I thought, you know what? It's not a dishonor to the person who died. It's an honor because everybody, they still felt it and they still spoke about it at the game, but everybody was out there cheering on the Jerusalem team. And
Good Musser. Good Musser. Funinjerusalem.com. Joanna Shebson, I couldn't be prouder of the life you have built for yourself here and what you are doing and how you're contributing. I'm not just saying that. I say that on and off the air. So if the Stonlefs are listening and they're watching, you should shep a tremendous amount of nachas, because I certainly do. My love to everybody at home. We're going to have to wrap this up. You've been listening to That's Life here at the Nachum Segal Network. The live lunch will start in just a few moments. Avrami is going to be hosting from New York, from Baltimore, whichever studio he is in today. But we're going to be calling in from wherever we are, different locations here in Jerusalem, as we experience our own live lunch. It'll be evening here. But I recommend that you stay tuned. Don't want to miss that. Again, my thanks to Pomegranate, to Mr. Abe Banda for his support of the Jewish Unity Initiative, for making this week possible. My thanks to Travel Cell. My thanks to the Inbal. My thanks to Traveler's Choice. My thanks to Mayor Kruder of Kruder Photography, who, again, this week is taking pictures of me that are better than pictures I've ever had before. And if you check out that picture on Facebook that we took at Eish HaTorah, that picture of me and Nachum with the Kotel behind us and Har HaBayit behind it as well. It looks fake. It's really not, and I've never had anything liked that much on Facebook. So check it out, be one of my likes, and as usual, we truly appreciate everyone supporting us and for listening. We've had wonderful feedback this week. My thanks to everyone, to ZK behind the camera, to Avrami back at home, to Stan, who's been covering JM in the morning. My thanks to all. That's life, everybody. Bye, guys.